What's going on, everyone? So earlier today, we saw the Desmond Bane trade to the Orlando Magic for 4 first-round picks and a pick swap, along with KCP as well as Cole Anthony. And that many people might look at as an overpay. I see a lot of questions about like, hey, did this just set the market? I do think if you look at the circumstances, he's the kind of guy exactly that Orlando needs, on top of the exact guy that Orlando needs, right? Instead of them giving up players, right? Because KCP's got an overpaid contract, especially the production he gave the Orlando Magic last year. And the fact that Orlando was able to keep pretty much all of their key core guys. They were already looking to get rid of Cole Anthony for the last few seasons. Now they got Anthony Black, so it made sense. To me, it kind of seemed like, hey, instead of us giving up key core players, let's give up extra draft capital because we're a team that's young. It's going to be good for the next few years. And let's go try to make a push in a wide open Eastern Conference, especially with Boston probably being a bit of a hiatus, right? You got Indiana, you got the Knicks, and then you got the Cleveland Cavaliers as like the 3 teams. Who's that 4th team or maybe even potentially that 3rd team that kind of emerges this upcoming season, right? But besides the market and everything else, this might have just set the tone for a potential Austin Reaves trade. This might have been huge for the Lakers for an Austin Reaves trade, right? Because Desmond Bane, again, just went for 4 unprotected firsts, along with a pick swap that is lightly protected, and and 2 players, right? Now, Desmond Bane's contract compared to Austin Reaves' contract is very different, but this is something for either this season, if the Lakers look to trade Austin Reaves, maybe recoup a bunch of draft capital that they can use to then go make bigger trades or bigger splashes, or now you kind of know what Austin Reaves' value is in a potential trade, right? Triple J is a guy that I'd love to see the Lakers go and acquire. Well, you could go to Memphis and be like, hey, you just traded Desmond Bane and got 5 picks. 4 firsts and a pick swap. Guess what Austin Reaves is probably worth? Very similar, if not as much, maybe even potentially more. Now, I know that there's going to be some naysayers that are like, oh, Austin Reaves is trash and whatnot. Look, I'm somebody that has been as critical of Austin Reaves as you can be. I'm somebody that has talked about trading Austin Reaves on numerous occasions. But Austin Reaves and Desmond Bane are incredibly comparable. I'm not even going to dive into who you think is better or not. I'm just going to go over both players and tell me what you think, right? Both guys are the same age. Austin Reaves just turned 27 in May. Desmond Bane will be 27 in literally a week, right? So they're the same age. Desmond Bane gave you 19.2 points, 6 rebounds, and 5.3 assists. Austin Reaves last year, right, averaged 20 points, right, along with 6 rebounds, or 5 rebounds and 6 assists, right? 20.2 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 5.8 assists. So, again, even just the stat line is comparable. Austin Reaves was playing alongside LeBron James and Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis before that, right? So it's not one of those things where like, oh, Austin Reaves played a bigger role or Austin Reaves was, I mean, Desmond Bane's on many nights was the number 1, number 2 guy, just like Austin Reaves was, right? And Austin Reaves, you got to keep in mind, Austin Reaves, when he is the number 2 option, is averaging 28, 6, and 8. That's huge, right? Okay, well, let's go over the stats and comparables, right? 73 games played for Austin Reaves, right? You look at kind of Desmond Bane. What did Desmond Bane give you as far as production? Because the other thing, too, is best ability is availability, right? Well, he played 69 games. He also played 42 the year before, 58 the year before, 67 or 76 and 68, right? Austin Reaves is Mr. Reliable as far as health goes, right? Austin Reaves, you look at 61, 64, 82, 73 games, right? I mean, he played a full season a year ago, almost played a full season this past year, right? So that's important. Desmond Bane's 32 minutes per game, took 14.8 field goal attempts per game. Austin Reaves played 35 minutes per game, 14.2 field goals per game. Literally the same number of field goal attempts, 14.2 compared to Desmond Bane's 14.8. Desmond Bane's took 0.6 more, almost a full attempt more, but little more than half an attempt more. And Austin Reaves averaged a full point more, right? So again, just something to keep in mind, 19.2 compared to 20.2. Now, here's the thing. Desmond Bane, to his credit, is a better three-point shooter. Look at this past year, 6 attempts, 39.2% from three-point range, 41% from the floor, right? Where Austin Reaves shot 38% on 7.3 attempts. Now, Austin Reaves is a career 37% three-point shooter. So it's not like Austin Reaves is an atrocious three-point shooter and Desmond Bane is, lights out. But Desmond Bane is the better three-point shooter out of the two, right? But Austin Reaves basically got him everywhere else, right? He's a better natural scorer, right? As far as getting to three levels, getting to the foul line, creating contact, right? Getting to his spots, elevating over the top, right? Not saying Desmond Bane is some schmuck in that regard. He definitely could do that. But Austin Reaves is just more crafty when it comes to shot creation. He's the better playmaker of the two. He's better at navigating and getting others involved than Desmond Bane, right? Like Austin Reaves is a guy that can legit run your offense as well as slot in and be the guy that's playing alongside another playmaker like a Jean Morant. Where Desmond Bane, he's a guy that can be that secondary playmaker. Austin Reaves, if I'm being fair, I do think would be better as your secondary play. Like, I don't know if I trust him enough as your primary playmaker, but I trust him more than a Desmond Bane. I think he's a better primary playmaker than Desmond Bane is. But Desmond Bane as like your secondary playmaker is fine. But Austin Reaves just has better vision, can run more and kind of create more for himself, create more for others. So gives you better scoring, gives you better playmaking, rebounding. Again, talk about a guy that gives you 4 rebounds. So the rebounding department is nearly identical. You look at Desmond Bane's 5.2. He's a career 3.9 rebound a game guy. You look at Austin Reaves, gave you 4.5 last year. He's a career 3.8 rebound a game guy. Literally the same rebounding. So Austin Reaves gives you the only thing that Desmond Bane is better at is the shooting, right? Desmond Bane is a better shooter. Okay, well, what about the defense? Right, defensive side of things, right? Who's better? Well, you look at this past season, Austin Reaves had a 116.5 defensive rating. So, again, basically around league average, where you look at a guy like Desmond Bane. Again, this is not a guy that is super, elite defense, like looked at as like absolute clamps, but he is a guy that is better than Austin Reaves in that regard. He was a 113.4, right? So talking about Desmond Bane's better defensively, Desmond Bane's is better shooting the basketball, better 3-and-D guy, right? But again, Austin Reaves is better in basically everywhere else, right? Better shot creator, better playmaker, right? So to me, it really boils down to what do teams looking for, right? Like Orlando needed the shooting. They needed a guy that could go get buckets, right? And Austin Reaves is not a guy that's available, so they went after a guy like Desmond Bane. Now, if you're a team that needs better playmaking as well as, better production, right? So we'll use Dallas. Just use Dallas as an example, right? Just using him as an example, right? Dallas right now really desperately could use some playmaking, right? So it would make more sense for them to go get a guy like an Austin Reaves than a Desmond Bane. Let's say both guys are available and it's like, okay, which one do we need more? Well, in Dallas's case, they need more of a Austin Reaves than a Desmond Bane, right? Same thing with a team like the Phoenix Suns, right? They would need more of an Austin Reaves than a Desmond Bane. So regardless, even if you think Desmond Bane is the better player, right? Let's say, hey, Tyler, he's better defensively, better shooting the 3 ball, right? So give me that guy. Okay, fine, right? But again, he went for 4 unprotected firsts and a pick swap plus 2 players. So Austin Reaves has got to be worth at least, bare minimum, say 3 firsts and a pick swap plus players, right? The problem is that Austin Reaves is making like a third of what Desmond Bane is making. So if the Lakers were to look to trade him, right, probably getting a pretty good return. I talked about trading Austin Reaves, and I talked about like San Antonio and some other places. I actually have a video that I already made about the Brooklyn Nets, which is kind of ironic that this ended up happening because now that video looks even better. It doesn't talk about this trade because I recorded it before the trade happened, but talked about like, hey, getting, 3 firsts in that type of trade type thing, which, if I would have posted that video, I think a lot of people would have been like, that's crazy. That's not going to happen. Now I think people will be like, Tyler, you undersold that. So just keep that in mind when you're watching that video. But the thing is that, like, I think that this now gives the Lakers a potential and opportunity to kind of stockpile what they need, or when they're using Austin Reaves in a trade, right? Again, Triple J, hey, he's worth 4 firsts or 3 firsts, right? So you want 4 firsts plus a player. Well, here's Austin Reaves. Here's, the equivalent of 3 or 4 firsts, give you another first. And then here's, a Dalton Connect, right? Boom. There you go. Now you got Triple J, right? So again, the Memphis Grizzlies just, however, whether they set the market for X, Y, and Z, maybe, but they definitely set the market for Austin Reaves. Now the Lakers kind of have an idea of what Austin Reaves could be worth and valued to the right team in the right situation, right? Question is, do you trade Austin Reaves now and try to get those assets, or do you wait, get him a new contract, right? And then now you could get more players in return, because that's something else. Again, Austin Reaves, you wouldn't be able to get, a bunch of stuff, but, could you get, a Herb Jones in assets now, right? Because contracts are similar. Or before, maybe you're talking about just kind of doing a swap, right? Swapping players. Well, now it's like, okay, well, Austin, look at what Desmond Bane just went for. Imagine what Austin Reaves would go for. So now we want Herb Jones, and, maybe you can get Herb Jones and Trey Murphy and give up Austin Reaves, Dalton Connect, and, Rui Hachimura or something like that. Now you got 2 wings. Just getting kind of spitballing here for a moment. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So I enjoy these types of videos. I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.